Good evening to you all. I want to welcome you all to the ETE Talks. We do this ETE Talks every Thursday. So you're all welcome. To those who are watching us from wherever they are, you're also welcome. So please, can you please pay attention as our speakers are going to present, because it's going to help you a lot. Right now, can you please help me welcome Coach Stuart Zenda with his topic boundaries. Can you please give him a round of applause?
Good evening. Victory was imminent, with gold just after the finishing line. From nowhere, somebody jumped into the track.
Your phone needs a mobile or Wi-Fi
and
connection
he was put off track. Because he was put off track, he couldn't reach gold and was given a bronze. Today, I'm going to share about a topic called boundaries. My definition for boundaries is the imaginary lines that defined how people relate to each other. I've shared a story. Of course, something went wrong. As this guy was going towards the finishing line, the boundary was bleached, and this guy lost the gold medal that he was supposed to achieve. As coaches, we are expected to relate to our coaches. We are expected to have boundaries that are healthy between us and the coaches. In one of the sessions with the Dr. Duri, he mentioned that as coaches, we supposed to have boundaries even in terms of our conducts. We are supposed to be giving a positive talk. We are supposed to be giving inspirational language. We are not supposed to be giving a negative talk. We have to be motivational in our conduct. We must offer words of encouragement. That's a healthy boundary. I want to share with you the types of boundaries. There are 3 types of boundaries. The first one being the porous boundary or a diffused boundary. The second one is a rigid boundary. The last one is a healthy or an adaptive boundary. Let me share the characteristics of a diffused boundary so that wherever you are, you do a self-insight, self-introspect, and really find out which boundary is applicable so that it will then help us to move from the current boundary that we are in into a boundary that we are expected of as coaches. So the first one is the porous one, which is the diffused one. What are the characteristics of the diffused boundary? If you are somebody who overshares personal information, you are in this category of boundary. If you are somebody who struggles to say no, you are in this cluster of boundary. If you are somebody who is easily influenced by the opinion of others, you are in this boundary. If you are somebody who doesn't let anyone into your space, you are within this porous boundary. Let me move on to the rigid boundary. If you are somebody who keeps people away from your space, you are within this boundary. If you are somebody who do not ask for help, you are in the rigid boundary. If you are somebody who is protective of information, you are in the rigid boundary. If you see somebody who is detached, is in this boundary. So the last one that I want to share, which is the health one, which as coaches are expected to be in, is the adoptive boundary. In the journey of coaching, we've got the 8 attributes of a coach. A good coach, which is one of the key boundaries that is associated with a good coach, is a person of a good social standing. That's the first boundary of a good coach. A good coach is a person who's non-judgmental. So in our conduct as coaches, when we do the coaching sessions with our coaches, we must be non-judgmental. In our body language, that's number 1. And number 2, we must be good communicators as coaches. As a coach, we need to see brilliance in other people. We must be highly creative as coaches. We must be some ardent readers as coaches. We must be persuasive as coaches. The 8 attributes of coaches that I've shared, they resonate with the coaching disciplines. Proverbs chapter 5, verse 17, it says, you must safeguard your heart, because out of your heart comes the flow of life. Everything that we do comes from the heart. Everything that have gone wrong in life, it is an issue of a boundary that would have been violated. I've shared the story about the marathoner. The person who disrupted the marathoner was an Irish priest of all the people. He jumped into the track and he went for the marathoner, disturbed him from getting the gold that was imminent to get, which was a few meters from the crossing line. It was a boundary that was violated. Life examples of the living, the life examples, the live ones, the problems that we are facing now, it's because of not having the right boundaries, not having the healthy, effective boundaries, and boundaries being violated. We are having our children crying because of drugs. That is one typical example of a boundary that has been violated. We are having our children who are having the teen pregnancies that we are having. It is because of those boundaries that are being violated. Boundaries are very, very important in our lives. As coaches, you can never be a professional coach if you do not have a healthy boundary. In conclusion, I challenge all the coaches to ensure that our boundaries, they are in sync with the healthy boundaries, which are aligned to the 8 that I've mentioned. I thank you.
Another round of applause for Coach Stewart. That was a beautiful presentation. Thank you so much, Coach. We have learned a lot. Did you learn something? Which boundary are you in? Rigid. Healthy. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Coach. That was beautiful. We have learned a lot. So, not wasting much of your time, I'm going to introduce our main speaker tonight. His name is Admire Tanaka Kamutimbe. So, I'm going to give a detailed profile of him. Admire Tanaka Kamutimbe is a director at AK Agency, a business ICT capabilities boutique. He works with business directors, social leaders, and individual brands, taking them from a situation where they are frustrated by loss of opportunities through poor business ICT investments to a state where they are relieved as they experience growth and efficiency through properly aligned IT investments required for business capabilities. He has a passion and extensive knowledge and experiences of AI and how it can be used to build modern businesses that scale through content creation, organic social media marketing. He holds an information systems degree from GZU, Great Zimbabwe. He is a member of the Computer Society of Zimbabwe. Can you please give him a round of applause? Welcome him. Applaudee.
Thank you so much. Hi guys. You don't look happy. What's wrong? What's wrong? Can we all stand up? Can we all stand up? Can we greet at least 3 people? And getting their name, excluding me. Huh? It doesn't. All right. Who has greeted 3 people? Who has energetically greeted 3 people? Okay. Can I just speak? I want 2 volunteers who can share with me 2 names of, at least 2 names of the people they have greeted. Volunteers? Should I pick? My brother, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, you can stand up. I want a lady. Are you ready, my sister? Yes, please stand up. Share with them.
Good evening, ma'am. My name is Emmanuel. I've met Precious here, but I didn't get your name. I did, but I didn't get your name. Really?
Okay. Yes.
I need Emmanuel, Precious, Lucy.
Oh my word. Oh my word. Let's clap hands for them as they sit down. All right. Thank you so much for coming through. And how many of us have heard a story about someone who is making it big from social media? Someone who has got millions, if not billions, of followers, and because of that, they are making a lot of money. How many of you has heard a story similar to that? Let's raise up our hands if we've heard something like that. Okay. And how many of you have this feeling of saying, I want to be like that? Having followers is pretty cool. Let's raise our hands. If you have said, I want to work on my social media presence so that I can have more followers, so that I can be like that rich guy, we can see. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to try to unpack to you what makes a strategy effective when you are trying to market on social media organically. Okay? So there are key terms there. We see there is strategy, effective, and organic, right? So, all right, before we start, I'm from the AK agency. That's my brainchild. I started this organization from the university, creating an organization that I wanted to exist in the world. You can follow me on Facebook. That's where I usually play and dine. So we can be friends there, bring your questions there. So with that being said, let's get into the business. My name is Kamutimbe. For those who don't know me, I'm a frequent visitor or a member of the ETE. So yeah, thank you so much, ETE, for giving me an opportunity to unpack my knowledge, my findings, and the science of organic marketing on social media. So before I jump into my presentation, I would like to recognize Coach Duri for establishing this organization, ICMF. It's a life-changing organization. And I would also like to acknowledge Coach Lucy. Please stand up for all the work you do at the back end of this event. I also want to acknowledge Coach Allen. Please stand up so that people can see. And the other coach, sorry, your name keeps on escaping me. Please stand up so that people see you guys. We want to recognize the work you do in the back end. I also want to acknowledge my young brother behind the camera. His name is Samson. He does a lot on our content. So I would also want to acknowledge everyone who supports the dream that I have. I cannot mention you all, but you know that you're important to me. So let's clap hands for these people who are working in the background. Okay, so what then happens is there is a conflict that's going on when you talk about social media, whether it's being talked about in terms of commercial use or social uses, right? There is this thing of saying, is it useful? Really risking my data to post on a social platform maybe 3 times a week? If I'm serious, what do I get in return? Some are saying it works, some are saying it doesn't work. Some are saying we have proof that it works, some are saying it doesn't work. How many of you think social media marketing works? Let's see by a raise of hands. Okay. How many of you say, it's just a waste of time? Or we haven't seen the returns? Let's be honest. I want to have an interactive session with you. Okay. So I would like to, in this presentation, present an argument as to why social media marketing, especially the organic route, is useful and how it can be done effectively, meaning that it has to work, right? Okay, so I'll try to unpack what these 3 key terms that I showed you earlier, which include what? What was the first one? Strategy, effectiveness, and what? Organic. Okay, let's jump in. How many of you have heard stories about one of these Zimbabweans in these photos recently? Let me start with Themba Gorimbo. I like this guy. He is a UFC fighting or boxer, and he, on social media, he doesn't say, I'm fighting next week or I'm selling this and that. He talks about social matters, all right? How he escaped poverty, how life is good right now in Hollywood, how he's chilling in the US, right? And we also see Shaddai, who likes sparking controversial arguments on single mothers and dating and men, alpha males and all that stuff, right? And we also see Madam Boss. What happened to Madam Boss recently, to those who follow social media? Can we share where was she recently? Yes. Where? Which country?
America.
Yes. And we saw pictures where she was chilling with the likes of Will Smith, all these people we see on TV and we aspire to have. So I want to ask you a question. Do you think these people, they wake up and say, today I'm going to entertain the heaven out of Zimbabweans? You think they really love putting their business out there? If you think they really love letting you know that they are in the USA, raise up your hands. We agree that they don't do it for fun, right? So why do they do it? They are trying to find their tribe, right? So there is what we call tribe, a set of people who understand who you are and believe in what you are trying to achieve. Okay, so in other books, they call these terms true fans. True fans are people who strongly believe in what you are working on. So if you are a coach and you launch a new book, true fans will come and buy a book. If you launch hats, true fans will come and buy your hats. If you launch stickers, they are going to bang your door to say, we want those stickers, because they strongly relate to your what? To your message and your calling and whatever you're trying to achieve, your vision. Let me give you an example. We've seen Elon Musk, and he's one of my favorite inventors. His product, the Cybertruck, is my dream car. So I'm a true fan of his inventions, right? So whatever he does to Cybertruck, I'm following, right? So I'm a true fan. It's always important to note that you have true fans and you don't want to disappoint those people. That's why you need to master this game of organic social media marketing that's effective. All right. So the first word was strategy, game plan. This game plan must what? Must be able to work. We need a game plan that works. When we look at a social media marketing plan of a person without money, we must say this can work. So how does it work? Me being a Liverpool fan, I couldn't control myself. You know, Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp. Madai had that. Okay, it's an argument for another day. So when we look at the strategy, we must see results. And me being a Liverpool fan, I've seen a lot of results from Klopp's game plans, strategy, set pieces, making things work, right? So how are we going to make our social media marketing plan that is organic work? The first thing is that it has to be organic. It has to grow on its own without what? Money, right? We have organic and sponsored marketing. So in this case, we are saying we don't have money. We want our social media efforts to work automatically. What are we going to do? Jim Rohn inspired me a lot, and he said, how to face challenges you know you are going to face. Get wiser, stronger, better, and you gotta start when? So I'm here to make you wiser, stronger, better in this argument or this presentation. So the first thing we want to do is we want to post content that is captivating. As a coach, I want to post content that makes someone cry because it will be resonating with them. I want to post something that will make someone say, I want to have a meeting with you today at 10 o'clock. Please come have my money, right? We want to make cool stuff. That's what we want. But there is a challenge. Our brain. Mr. Brain is so challenging. Why? He will tell you, you don't have enough skills. Look at Arthur Marara's content. You can never be there. You don't have an iPhone. You don't have a camera. You are not a media person. You didn't go to film school. Who is saying this? Mr. Brain is presenting his argument to you. And what are you doing? Saying, but you are right. Me, I don't even, where do I start? So what do we do when Mr. Brain brings his presentation to us? We have to be realistic and look at what we have around us. We have to find the smallest starting point. And what do we have? What does everyone have in his pocket right now? That's where we start. We bring social media to our phones. And when we do that, we are using the tools that we have within us to validate our point that this can be done, right? All the apps can be downloaded direct to your phone right now from Google Play Store. If you don't have data after this event, we can transfer them into your phone and you have them, right? And then what happens? You have to set up your accounts on those on your mobile phone. We have Facebook, Threads, Instagram, Twitter or X, TikTok, WhatsApp, YouTube, all of them. Bring the experience to your mobile phone. And then what happens? We start assessing what other tools do we need beyond these apps. We need those editing softwares. And a lot of us know these softwares. But we never explored because our Mr. Brain convinced us that we can never, it's impossible, right? But now we get the tools. In short, CapCut, you get ready to edit your videos. But that's not all. Let's go down. Now you log into your social media on your phone, right? It's on your phone. It's on your phone. Every day you wake up, you see these things and you start interacting. But above all, the journey is so far. Why? Because you need tools, tips, and techniques. That does what? That work. So, one of the tools you have to use is a social media posting tracker. I designed this. This helps me to embarrass myself. So in a week, I go, this is a sheet, an A4 sheet. So these are the headings. Wherever I posted, I put a dot with a marker, right? Can I have a marker, son? So with these markers, I'll just say I posted on Facebook, I posted on Twitter, I posted on YouTube. Give me those, all of them. All right. It's fine. So if the less dots I have throughout the week, it means what? I didn't work. It means I'm slacking on myself. So one of the things that you have to do when you want to be successful organically is to be dedicated, to hold yourself to the highest standards. Yourself, not your brother, not your sister, not your organization. Yourself, you have to say, I can do better. I can do more for myself. This social media can work for me. And then what happens? That's not enough. So you have to come up with a posting schedule. And this is mine, my ideal posting schedule. So the good thing about all these templates, Coach Allen have them. I gave him before the session, so you get the blank ones. So this is my ideal posting schedule, right? So we need to be realistic with these plans. From Saturday to Sunday, you cool off, okay? Take a break. You comment on other people's posts. You have a perspective, all right? Then on Monday, you come up with Monday motivation because there is a tribe, there is a group of people who are waiting for you to say the right thing they are looking for. They are hungry. They are hungry for your message, right? Motivate them on Monday. On Tuesday, talk about the latest trends in your what? In your industry. In my industry, it's AI. So on Tuesday, I talk a bit about AI and how it's affecting or improving the businesses of Zimbabweans. On Wednesday, I promote my stuff that I sell, right? And on Thursday, I do a live or I do an industry news analysis. And on Friday, I have a technology podcast called the Take Up Show podcast we upload on Friday. So if you meet me on the road and say, so what are you posting tomorrow? At least I know. Tomorrow is what? Friday. We have a podcast to upload. And we shot it today. Tonight we have to edit, or if we're too tired, then we work on it tomorrow. But above all, this is not a rigid plan. This is an ideal model, right? So you find out that there are worst case, better case, and best case scenarios, right? So it depends with where you are in your life. Someone is in the worst case scenario. So you might post once a week. That's fine. But you know that you need, as your case changes, you need to start improving because this works on a compounding effect. Okay? So what happens is with time you get better. At first, maybe you don't even post in a week. Then you start posting once because now you know what needs to be done. Then you post twice, you post 3 times, 4 times until it's 5 times, okay? So you get a blank template of this from Coach Allen. I think he'll put in a group or something so that you can start working on this, depending, customizing it based on your industry and your goals, okay? So these are my contacts. We can talk further about your journey. I know it was hard for me, but there's always a starting point. So now we are going to get off the presentation so that I can have conversation with you. Is that okay? Is that okay with you guys? Oh, you look serious, too serious, guys. What's up? What's up? All right. So my first point from this off presentation is that nobody is too cool for school. Okay? Say too cool for school. Is there anyone who thinks they are too cool for school? No. But what happened? What happened to us? Smartphones happened, computers happened, and we ended up thinking that we're too for school. And that's where we are getting lost. Some of the ideas that can change our lives are in these books. The books that you see in bookstores, on the roads. Find a topic. If you suspect that this topic can change your life, find books that go beyond. Of course, there are podcasts, there are magazines, there are articles, posts on social media. However, I find that most of the information is still in the what? In the books. Most of the information is still in the events that are happening in Harare. A lot is happening. Someone will present a topic that will change the nature of your business or will change how you are studying if you're a student. So get back to what? To the source of knowledge. You are not too cool for school. And if sometimes you act like you're too cool for school, just know that you are leading on another path that will not give you the desired outcomes, right? And the second thing is that there are courses out there that directly address a specific topic you want to know, right? Maybe you want to learn about how AI can be used to effectively market your stuff. How do you do that? Somebody out there has created a CD, a DVD. Somebody out there has created a booklet that tells you specifically how to do a specific thing. So what's your duty? Is to know what you don't know and go and find those who know so that they can show you how it's done. So your duty is to know. I know that in court, if you say I didn't know, that doesn't hold. Is that right? You can't say to a judge, I didn't know. You have to know. If you want to be successful, especially organically on social media, you have to know that this whole domain is a whole body of science. Okay? There are people, there are YouTube channels committed to letting you know how to effectively market yourself online without paying fees. However, recently I've been doing experiments with my partner, and we realized that these social media platforms, they are designed in a specific way that drives people to do what? To boost posts, which also aka sponsoring posts, putting money towards that. So what it means is growing organically is painful. So you have to be patient. You have to say, I can enjoy the pain. However, when you boost your posts, you start seeing something. These platforms start opening up this audience, starts working in your favor so that you keep on pouring money there. And because of that, there is a lot of propaganda. These platforms have gone out of their own way to find influencers to say, put your money in this platform, put your money in X platform, put your money in this. And that propaganda can drive you crazy. Because what happens is when you look at your account that has got, let's talk about TikTok, maybe you have 100 followers, right? And you have 340 likes, okay? Then you see this influencer who has got 200,000 followers and he has got 36,000 likes. How are you going to feel? How are you going to feel? The account is verified, they have the badge and all that stuff. You are going to feel like you don't even matter. You are going to feel like I have to do something to this platform so that I can have these followers. And people have gone out of their way to lose themselves to get followers because followers like drama. They like crazy things. Okay. So in some cases where you offer these tutorials which are boring, which are sought after by very few people, you have to stay true to your calling. Yeah, you can entertain people maybe once in a while, but your overall theme must stay known. Okay. So what then happens is we have to learn to adopt these techniques that will help us to get started and effectively, organically, so that we can have the results we need. So the first thing I want to share with you is that we have forms of content that we can put on these social media platforms. The first kind of content we have is in the form of text. So this is something you write in your notepad, in your phone app, the one for notes. You can open it right now and write. I mean, this presentation where the guy in a suit is talking about organic marketing, and then you copy that text and you post it on Facebook. Copy that text, you post it on Twitter. Copy that text, you post it on Instagram. Copy that text, post it on your WhatsApp status. From one input. Okay? So what does that mean? That means that you can bypass the whole issue of working hard a lot of times by one activity can bring you a lot of results. So that's the first thing. The second kind of content, this is where I started. I started by copywriting. They call it copywriting when you write in a way that's persuasive, where you're communicating your ideas to the masses. The second way you can post, second type of content is audio. Audio. Audio is sound, right? So this sound, this can be sound. We can convert this video into an MP3, or we can take our phone. It has got a voice recorder. Then we can sit down and start talking. What do you do, man?
Catering.
Catering. What do you bake or make or cook?
Something like jollof rice.
Yes, Nigerian. Then you will take your phone and start talking about the history of jollof rice on your phone, and you are recording. It's predominantly a Nigerian meal, which is very hot. It's mixed with a lot of curries, meat, and rice and whatnot. And what inspired you to start cooking jollof rice? And then when you're done, you say history of jollof rice from a Zimbabwean perspective, and you post that. The next kind of content that we are dealing with is what? Pictures. Pictures. Someone can take a photo of this event and say, I've been out and about in Harare. Harare is so busy these days, full of ambitious people, and you post that. That's a picture. And the last that we are going to talk about today is shout if you know what's happening here. What kind of format is this? Guys, are you hungry? Yes, it's a video. This is where the action is. And researchers have noted that video has got 24 times more power as compared to all these other forms of content. So if you want more conversion, work with video. Put a video. And TikTok has shown us that your video does not need to be Mr. Beast kind of video. It can start from 3 seconds. Is this? 3 seconds. 3 seconds. Up to. For a beginner, we can say up to 10 minutes, right? So your video, someone can be taking you when you're getting in this auditorium, or when you're greeting people after the event, someone can take you a video and you post that. You're a coach. I was mingling with other coaches. Here's the proof. You put it on the internet. Okay. Now, here's the catch. There is information that describes the content you are posting. This information is called metadata. Metadata. So if you have your video here, there is metadata, right? Our metadata can be the name of the video, dot the format. We know it's an MP4. Then we know this video is about a AK agency presentation. It's presenting at Karigamombe, or at ETE. Okay, then this is the video title, and there is descriptive information. The presenter touched on what? The presenter touched on the effective methodologies of organically marketing your business on social media. So that will be the description. Then at the end, you put what? Your hashtags. Your hashtags allow the platform algorithms to categorize your content. Okay, so it will know this is about business, this is about the social media. So I will say business, hashtag social media, hashtag, I'll say hashtag ICT, hashtag admire Kamutimbe, right? So you have to promote your name in those hashtags as well. To categorize your information on these platforms, the algorithm loves this because you are making its work easy. And also when you are working with videos, how many of you have seen videos with moving text? That will be moving, some will be moving fast, some will be moving slow, where you can read what's going to be said in future. How many of you have seen those? Those are called what? What are they called? What are they called? Captions. Captions. Okay, what is AI? Let's go back to AI. AI is a computer that can see, read, understand the input that is supplied to it, and then make decisions as to what the user is intending to do. So now, when you use captions, you are helping AI to understand. Because these platforms, from Facebook to LinkedIn to YouTube, they are all AI enhanced now. So when you use captions on your videos, you are saying to AI, you can listen to my content, and then they can categorize it easily, right? What do these social media platforms want from you? They want you to create content that keep people on that platform through engagement. Okay, so these people who experiment with content, they have been doing these silly experiments where when maybe they were supposed to write admire like this, they will omit I on some posts, they will omit E. Why would they do that? To spark conversations in the comment section. Because those comments, they trigger the algorithm. They tell the algorithm that this video is good, it's getting people to talk. So when that guy, what's his name? That guy who talks nonsense about that same celeb, one of our celebs, I'll tell you his name. When he's talking, you can tell that this is crazy, stupid. But look at the comment section. Algorithm likes that and is going to push his content out. So he's a good guy to the algorithm, but he's a bad guy to the people who are listening. And because he's triggering them to comment, then that excites the algorithm. You are keeping people on the platform, and there are graphs. It's a big sign of how this content work. So without paying money, since we're saying we're going organic, right? You can learn how to trigger this algorithm. There are good ways and there are dark ways. And some of the dark ways is to omit, because it's just people's nature. People can't let it go. To say, but his tie was on the side like this. But his shoes, boots zake dzakapera mudhara wewe. Those people they can't hold it to themselves. People just want to correct. Hmm? So by commenting, they are triggering the algorithm and keeping people on the platform, and that will ensure that your content is sent to more people. Okay, so if you post and you don't get, you get few likes, maybe your sister and your mom, then it means you are not able to trigger the algorithm. The algorithm must be triggered in a specific way where people start reacting to your comments. It's either via, then there's a whole lot of signs on how to trigger people to comment. So I want to touch on few of those. The first thing that we have to know is the Maslow's principle. Or do we know Maslow's hierarchy principle? Okay, so this principle touches on the fact that human beings have specific needs. We need wealth, we need health, we need relationships, we need spiritual aspect of our life fulfilled. We also need identity, right? So when your video touches one of these fundamentals, you start to see people. Now we're talking of how to trigger human beings, right? So there are two ways about it. We talked about the what? The algorithm, which is the software that runs on the social media platforms. So we talked about how to trigger that software, get people to comment on your videos, get the algorithm to categorize your content easily, to understand what you're talking about. You talk about technology, you talk about baking, that's the algorithm. People are triggered by that pyramid. Touch on spirituality, touch on wealth, touch on health, touch on identity. Go on social media and say, so and so race is full of dumb people, and see what happens to you. By the end of the day, you will see some people who you have never seen commenting, because their tribe identifies with those people, right? Identity is very important. So if your content touches one of these things, then you succeed. All right. So in closing, you have to approach organic marketing on social media with this idea that I am a servant to my tribe. So you have to leave I away. You have to leave we as a team, we our company. You have to start saying you. Do you ever ask yourself what it takes to be successful? Do you ever ask yourself what is going to take you to be a coach? I'm here to share my perspective that I learned when I was doing XYZ coach, so that you do not make the mistakes that I made. So it has to be about your audience. You have to transfer the energy from you to your audience. And when they feel that power, they will feel inclined to support your movement, your message, and also give you their biggest resource, which is what? Thank you so much. My name is Kamutimbe. Bye.
Wow, beautiful presentation. Say thank you so much. Anyone with questions? Do we have questions before we close, or something to say? All right, coach.
Well, I just wanted to comment on the coach's presentation. And so, with the age groups that the GMC always talks about, there's as the old school, technology-wise, to get people behind. There's them that are always on the phone. So to them, it makes sense. But for us, in this age, some people say social media doesn't forgive or doesn't forget. So I wouldn't want to put my picture on the social media, likes. So what type of content in terms of doing that, if someone wants to push on such platform so that at least you then get the likes and so forth.
May I read you my yesterday's posting on Facebook? I think it will answer some of the questions or some of this question you have. That is a a good excuse of not starting your content creation journey, and it's acceptable for some time until it sinks in that you have to start creating content. Your mission, your message is so important. Your message can help save a life. If you're a coach, someone would meet you at Pick and Pay and say, "Coach, that post changed my life. I was at the brink of losing hope, but that scripture you showed me, which said, when men have no vision, they perish," right? So that helped me to start crafting my vision. I said, let me try this. There's a coach called Brandon Butchard. Please find him on YouTube. His story is similar to that, where finding a purpose saved him from killing himself. So your message is so important for you to keep it to yourself. And your first post and your 100th post cannot be compared. You'll get better with time. So allow yourself to, they call it sucking when you create stuff that's boring, but that's part of the learning process. You have to say, I'm willing to learn and go through the process. And you are fortunate that you have access to people like me. And Coach Allen, he knows a lot, so you can ask. See, so how do we start to get your confidence up? Yeah.
I hope you answered, Coach. You have to start now, no matter what your content is. You that motivate people. Maybe my youth, the old age. My parents. Yes, you can start with that one. Thank you so much. We are all satisfied. Okay, Coach Farai.
Thank you so much, Coach, for the mouth-watering presentation. So my question is that, for instance, when you are utilizing social media, sometimes I find it's like time consuming. But you are checking who is making my post, who is making this, and sometimes it comes negative news. Some of the news are toxic. They can even affect you in your day. So sometimes, as myself, I give myself a police. Sometimes morning I don't want to even by WhatsApp. I don't answer message. I don't go to social media. So how best can you navigate that, like to utilize social media effectively for your advantage, not so that you cannot be disadvantaged in that scenario?
Let's clap hands for him. This is a fundamentally challenging aspect of using social media. Before I answer you, which kind of professionals do you think social media companies employ right now? Do they employ more of computer engineers, accountants, sociologists, or what? Let me cut it short. They are employing more psychologists to make these platforms addictive. Those colors, those icons, those likes, those shares, they've been designed to lure you. They have been designed to keep you on the platform. Don't take your phone to the bathroom. If you sit on that chamber, you can finish your bundle or you will spend 3 hours because it's so addictive. And you scroll and scroll and scroll. Have you ever been on Facebook video site? Is it Facebook TV or Facebook Watch? You can watch videos the whole day, one after the other. There are billions of content. So you have to be careful. So to come to your question, for you to be effective, remember we talked about effectiveness. You have to know why you are on social media. When the why gets clearer, the how gets simpler. So you will know that I'm there to post and respond to few people. Social media is addictive by nature. Even me, with the knowledge that I have, I struggle sometimes, especially when you're stressed. It pulls you to entertain you because it's designed to entertain you, to keep you on that platform. You will find one account to another, one post to another. So be careful, know why you're on social media, and that makes your journey easier.
Thank you so much. You answered the question. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I think for today we are done. I want to thank you so much for coming. Right now, can you please